with the guys we have coming back, with the incoming guys, I think we're going to be a pretty good team again. You know, you have a big backcourt. You know, our returning vets have had good experience. You have a beast. We've missed a beast for a year, like an absolute, you know, if he gets it, he's either trying to dunk it or dunk your arm, or he's gonna, and then you got those long athletes we've always had, and Sasha and Wenyan, and you know, that are both, they're different. They're both 1 6'11", 1 6'10", but one's more of a wing, one's more of a 4'5", and you know, Bam is what he is, and can dominate a game. But like all these guys, you know, can do things that add to us. Malik and De'Aaron are, you know, a lot's been said. Look, they're going to have to come in. There's going to be an adjustment. Look, every kid that's come here, there's an adjustment. The thing that always amazes me is the way we recruit. That we're not promising, and I'm not telling anybody you're going to be 1 year and go. And I tell every kid you ought to stand on playing at least 2, and you may be here longer. Don't come in here thinking you're leaving 8 months later. You're going to torture yourself. But it's amazing to me that these kids think that it's an extension. College is an extension of high school, and I'll just do what I did. I want to play like I did in AAU. Really? Go back to AAU. I mean, that ain't college. I mean, I want to play like this is a whole, and then let me say this. When they leave here and go to that other league, that's not an extension of college. That's a whole nother profession. And so, you know, I think we're going to be fine. I like our team. I like our depth. We got a lot of work to do. We're going to be ugly early. We should be great defensively. We should be one of my better defensive teams, which some of you probably didn't read that part of the Post because you just started getting all crazy when the early stuff. But we should be great defensively, and we should be a great shot-blocking team, rebounding team. And we'll have to figure out how we play. I can't tell you exactly how we'll play. I've watched more tape of different teams playing positionless space basketball, pick and roll basketball. And you know I did more pick and roll last year than ever because of Tyler. Now I got a couple guys that I think would be great in pick and roll, and we just got to figure out, you know, how we play. Really fast. Ooh. Do you remember our 12 team when we rebounded and the ball was in the basket and you went, did someone throw it down there? Like we were that fast. You remember Michael? You remember Duran, how fast we got the ball out? And Darius, we ran. Terrence Jones. This team has that kind of speed. Now, they got to get in great shape. I want to be a great team from defense to offense. In other words, when we block it or get that ball, we're flying. And then we'll worry about, okay, how are we going to play when a team doesn't let us fly up and down? We'll worry about that later. Let's just get that first piece out first. And then you got to be a great defensive team first to be that. But that's what I'll zero in on. Let's really guard. Let's take great pride in it. Let's block shots. Let's team gang rebound. If a guard gets it, fly. Don't pass it. Run. And we're all running. Lobs, dunks, and layups. And then threes if they all fly back there. And then we'll figure out offense later. You know, you're not filling his shoes. This is a totally different team. But De'Aaron Fox is really good. Malik is really good. And with Dom and Isaiah, if Isaiah's here, I mean, again, we had 3 point guards last year. And that's why we became the most efficient team in college basketball on offense. That's what we were. And because we had 3 point guards, well, we're doing it again. Malik and De'Aaron are different, but they're both guards. De'Aaron will probably have the ball in his hands more than Malik, but Malik probably will score the ball more because he just has that ability, and even though De'Aaron can score too. But you still have, like I said, 3 point guards in Isaiah Briscoe, and then Isaiah brings the toughness, look, for Isaiah, he just has to show the improvement of shooting the ball, and he really doesn't have to make every shot. You just can't miss everyone. Just be somewhat consistent. And you know what? I think when you see him next year, that's what he'll be. Well, I'm going to give you a couple things, okay? And I don't think he liked that I called him the general, but De'Aaron Fox, people just come to him. He's one of those kind of guys. He makes everybody better, and he's got John Wall kind of speed. We got to get him shooting more consistently. Malik Monk, I don't believe even knows how good he is, and when he gets in a regimented program, and he had a great high school coaching program and all that, but a regimented, a college program where the other guys are just as good as him, I think his game is going to go to another level because he's got Derrick Rose stuff, like the bounce, but he can shoot a little bit better than Derrick did. I'm not saying Derrick was the MVP of the NBA, but I'm saying that. I'm anxious to see Wenyen play a wing position at 6'10" and be that big and do it with other really good players so he's not forced to do stuff he can't do. Do what you do. You know, I'm anxious to see, because Sasha has just gotten so much better. He keeps growing. He's 6'11". He may be 7'4" by the time he gets here. And Bam, just a great name. Bam Bam. We're gonna have people literally coming to games with in the stick. What was it? Yeah, Bam Bam. They're going to come to games. We're going to have the whole student section looking like that. And you remember how he used to pick things up, the car and stuff? Bam Bam. Yeah, that's him. So it's. But I'm going to be honest. I'm just as excited. I want to see Dom. He knows you got to get better. You got to be more consistent. He's gotten so much better. I want to see where Derek is. I'm excited about it. I want to see Charles Matthews be able to say, I can knock down shots. I can spread the court, because you know athletically how bouncy he is and all those things. Now give us the offense. Show us. I'm anxious to see that. I'm anxious to see the big guys. Isaac, where do you take this? Now you're 18. You're no longer 17. Where do you do? What's Ty do? Where's Michael now? Now, I'll be honest with you, most junior college players, the first year is a flop. His wasn't a flop, but it wasn't like a carryover from junior college. No, it's hard. I'm anxious to see him, and we're going to need him making shots. So, no, I'm excited. I'm going to take some time. They'll get on campus in the early June, and I'll be here for a while with them, 2-3 weeks, and then I'll take off. We do some recruiting. They'll get out of here in August, and then all of a sudden it's my 8th season. Do you guys feel bad how much I've aged? I mean, does that bother anybody here? That's a big part of how we've been able to do this. They've all been recruited the same way, knowing that it's going to be hard, and no one was given anything or promised anything, or there's not this rosy picture of life. You come with us, life changes. No, it isn't. It's hard. Some guys come in with that. I got Kentucky, that means we win and I go pro. Really? And then they get in there and they're like, this is really hard. Yeah, it's really hard. Harder than anywhere you can go. So these kids have gotten together. They're all great kids. I mean, they're all. My wife said to me the other day, every year we'll have a group come through and I'll say there's no way next year's group can be as nice as that group. And then next year's group is nicer than the group before. And I would say when she meets this group, she's going to say the same thing. Well, he's changing as a player because he's invested more in the game, and now he gets disappointed if he doesn't play well. And that's what happens. The more you put into it, the harder you work, the more you're committed, the more disciplined you are about your approach to the game, the less chance you'll surrender. And when things don't go right, you're going to really self-evaluate because you've worked too hard. And that's what he's become, so I'm proud of him. He's done well in school. He's not even the same guy that walked on this campus. Dom looked great. I saw him the other day, and Michael, and saw Ty before he went back to New Zealand on a 24-hour flight, and Isaac drove to Chicago before he went home. So saw Charles and his mother as they left to drive back to Chicago. So probably leaving somebody off there, but he looked so bad. He came in my office and his walk and his gait made my hips hurt. But 5 days later, he came in to go home, and I watched him. He's still tender. He's probably 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away, but he's going to be fine. He got better, but he's got a ways to go. Ty's on a different path. You know, Isaac was on a different path. Charles was on a different path. So was Derek and Dom. I mean, they're all on different paths, and eventually Ty's going to be a good player here. But it'll take him time. He's not on the same path as some of these guys, but he's, physically tough and strong. And I don't believe so, but who knows? I mean, someone may come in and say something, but I would not expect that. But you just don't know how this stuff is.